Hi, so this is yet another update intended for my live journal. I look like shit because I just showered, and I'm not trying to look good. I just got back from the emergency room. So, yeah, that's what I did tonight. I had my assessment today with Montanito over the phone, and I don't really know what to say. I guess I could say, like, on one hand, like, that went well, meaning they said that they didn't see any way that insurance could possibly say no to covering me right now. And on the other hand, I have to say I was in tears by the end, because being on the phone that long and talking for that long consecutively was, like, excruciating. I felt really sick. Sorry, I just took a shower and I'm just in my blanket. So, I mean, I really, like, today lost it. Like, called my parents, and, like, it was kind of like the video that I made last night, like, except I was like full blown, like, screaming and crying and, like, basically begging one of my parents to come out here and take care of me until, I mean, I was really, like, really out of my mind, and I don't think I've come back completely, but I think I'm definitely in a better space. So anyway, I was totally out of my mind on the phone with my parents, begging them to come here, and they were saying, you know, they thought I really needed to go into a hospital, that they couldn't come out here. Sorry, there's something on my computer. That they couldn't come out here, at least not right now, and that my dad was saying if he did, it would be to help me move, or to help me get my stuff into storage, that he can't, like, be out here for several weeks, until I get into treatment. He can't come out here and take care of me, basically. Like, he can't do that. He can't afford to come out here, and he needs to find a job, and, you know, that if I am not capable of taking care of myself, I needed to go into a hospital. And so, a friend actually called, like, in the middle of us talking, and I got really angry at my dad at some point. I don't know what happened. I don't really remember, but I like switched calls and talked to my friend for a minute, and she was actually calling to see how I was doing, because the night before she knew I was not well. She'd given me a ride to a meeting, and I was not, like, able to focus, and I was feeling really sick. And so I told her what was going on, and she said basically what my parents said, which was that if one of them couldn't, you know, that I should ask one of them, like, in a rational sense, like, if they could come out here, and that if they couldn't, she would take me to the hospital, or take me to the emergency room, or that she thought the hospital was a really good idea. So, I, like, you know, talking to her calmed me down for a minute, and I talked to my parents again, and basically we concluded, like, they told me, you know, that they couldn't come out here. Neither of them could come out here. So I got back on the line with my other friend, or with my friend, and we went to the emergency room. So I called my doctor's after hours line, because my doctor had said, you know, that the hospital was something that she was thinking about, as far as to give me fluids and stuff. I had not been able to get to the lab to get my electrolytes checked for her, because I felt too sick to get to the lab. So anyway, my friend Sydney took me to the emergency room. So we were in there, and you know, they took me into triage, and my vitals were pretty crappy. So they took my blood, because they were, you know, concerned about my electrolytes, and sent me back out into the waiting room, and Sydney and I just sat there, and she was so amazing. She actually sat with me throughout the whole emergency room experience. And granted, it was a shorter thing. Like, they let me into the back within, I was waiting for less than 2 hours before they brought me into the back, and it wasn't because there weren't a lot of people waiting. It was actually a really busy night. It was because my potassium was like scary, scary, scary low. Like to the point where they put me in front of a lady who was pregnant thinking she was miscarrying. So the potassium was really low. So yeah, I was in the back, and they gave me some IV fluids and obviously some potassium, and the doctor was really concerned about everything that's going on, and we debated whether or not I should actually go into the medical hospital. He talked about Herrick, which is not, I told him it's not at all. I told him I'm looking into going into an actual treatment center, and that I would like not to go into the hospital treatment program, or that I'm not willing to. And he said, I'm just going to call over there and see what they think. And thankfully, because I had been there many times, and because we don't have a good rapport, that treatment program and they said they don't think that particular program is beneficial for me either. And so my ER doctor, he was a really great doctor. He was talking about, his name is Dr. Hirschberg, I guess. So he said that I would let's admit you for a day or two or whatever to the hospital to get you some fluids, just some rest, whatever. And then he had transferred me, and the hospital doctor came down to come get me. And he was a lot different. He was like, I don't know, you'd be there for a day. I don't know how much that's gonna help. Blah blah blah. And so after talking it through, I really wanted to just come home. I thought that was the better idea. Sydney really wanted me to go into the hospital. My ER doc really wanted me, kind of wanted me to go into the hospital. He seemed to be leaning that way. And my dad wanted me to go into the hospital. But the doctor, the actual hospital doctor, seemed to think well, I mean, let's just give her fluids now for the next 2 or 3 hours and then go home, and a day is not going to make a difference. And I kind of agreed with that. So now I'm home. I did binge and purge when I got home, but I do feel a lot better. I'm kind of shocked. They told me my potassium level, and I'm kind of shocked that I didn't get myself to the emergency room sooner. It was pretty bad, heart attack risk kind of level, and I already have heart problems, and so I'm really, really lucky that I did have a friend who took me to the emergency room, and that I stayed, because we were both debating at one point whether it was going to be a really long wait, and whether it was worth it. And she said we should wait until we know at least that your electrolytes are okay, or not okay. So I'm really lucky about that. I'm going to have to make the second video. Alright, it's going to be part 2.